Hello, it's Burgess Taylor and it's Coffee Chat Monday. And we have a lot to talk about today. Let's get started. First things first, happy Monday. Happy first day of spring. It's unbelievable. I can't believe it's already spring. And then yet I'm like so ready for spring. And on that note, we're going to talk about a few things. Camp NaNoWriMo is in 2 weeks, y'all. Actually, we have a little tiny bit less than 2 weeks. It starts not this Saturday, but next Saturday. This coming Saturday, hopefully, my new computer will be put together. Hopefully. Keep your fingers crossed, your toes crossed. As many of you know, I have been talking about my lack of journal planner piece. Not that that's not sort of elusive, or maybe is or isn't a real thing. Regardless of whether it is or isn't a real thing, what seems to be important is how you feel about your journals, your planners, and that kind of thing. And I've been out of sync for a couple of months now. I love my Enigma, and I love the Hobonichi, and I love my Traveler's Notebooks. I love my Janelli fishes. And if you remember, when I get to 2000, I'm giving a Janelli fish away in my custom color. As soon as I get pictures from Janelle for that, she's already got it done. I just need to get the pictures. I will get started with that. I haven't figured out exactly how I'm going to do it yet. I will post the pictures on Instagram and Facebook, and I will do a YouTube video. I'm excited, y'all. Okay, back to where I was at. I'm sorry. I'm distracted. I'm excited. Anyway, back to the coffee chat. Burgess, back to the coffee chat. This is what happens when you get excited and you have ADHD and you can't focus. This is why I use so many different kinds of journals and why I write the same thing in some of those journals. But we're going to get to that because I have to get my ducks in a row because Camp NaNoWriMo is in less than 2 weeks. And I'm going to be really busy in the month of April, and I'm not going to have time to do all this journaling. I'm not going to have time to do multiple planning and multiple planners. I'm just not. And I've got a lot of spring cleaning I have to do. I need to clean off my desk to get it ready for the new computer. I need to organize the desk so I can get back to some basics here so my desk isn't a wreck all the time. I need to get back to the basics with some journaling and some journaling supplies and some planning and some stuff in the house because I have some stuff I really need to get rid of. So if you are one of those people who's about ready to get back to basics, or if you're one of those people who has participated in One Book July with Miss Romney, Miss Vicky, and Miss Carrie, then you know what I'm talking about, getting back to basics. That's what One Book July was really all about, getting back to basics with your planning system. For some people, it included everything, like journaling, like with me, which is how the Omnibook sort of, the Omni Journal kind of reared its head and said, hello, this is me. For the past few years, I have participated in One Book July and absolutely loved it. The first year I didn't do very good. It drove me crazy. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I was still trying to figure things out. Next time, I got better at it. The next time, I got better at it because I think I participated in one of the One Book Decembers. I have been itching for One Book July, and it's not One Book July yet, and I don't have time to wait until July. I need to get back to the basics in more than one way. We're going to, a bunch of us, have stated that they're interested in getting back to the basics with their journaling. They're interested in changing things up and finding their way, not just with journaling, but with quite a few other things. Since it's not One Book July, and there are those of us who really do need to get back to the basics with a number of things, we're going to call April #Back to the Basics April. #Back to the Basics April. And we're going to do a bit of a hodgepodge of getting back to the basics. So maybe you're one of those people who has a bunch of different journals, or a bunch of different planners, or a bunch of different both things. Maybe you have both, like I do. I don't have a bunch of planners. I do have a bunch of bullet journals. I do have a bullet journal for like almost every project area. And I even have a bullet journal that includes all of the projects. I just like setting up new notebooks. I like new notebooks. I like writing in new notebooks. I like the feel and the smell and all of that of new notebooks. I'm a new notebookaholic, and I freely admit this. I love anything and everything stationery, but I love the finished product of a journal that has been completely finished. I love my Hobonichis. I have to give up something though, because or a few somethings, because I'm going to be swamped in April between Camp NaNoWriMo, cleaning the house, doing spring cleaning, Facebook groups, journaling with Burgess, and the Destination Me group, along with like I said, Patreon stuff, YouTube stuff, Instagram stuff, Twitter stuff, and my blog, which I've got to get better at. Even if it's only one post a week, I have got to get better at this. Being sick has really just... Anyway, so I need to get back to basics. Now, I have a couple of friends who are actually doing, say, things like the Con Marie method or the Fly Lady method. If you're one of those people who's maybe interested in doing something like the Fly Lady or Con Marie or one of those things, or maybe you just got shit you need to get rid of in your house, like me. I don't know much about the methods. I can research some videos, and I may or may not do that, but I do know I have stuff I need to get rid of. Mr. Rockstar and I have been slowly but surely getting rid of things. One of my projects for May is going to be my closet. I need to figure out a better way to organize it. Starting sometime in April, we're going to be getting some pieces, bit by bit, stuff you organize your closet with, like from Lowe's and Walmart and places like that, so that I can get rid of that Rubbermaid shelf that's in there, and the Rubbermaid shelf can actually go in our shed. Now, in order to do that, we're going to have to change some things around, and that's going to require some work. I'm going to have to clean and organize what's in there, and we're going to have to figure out what will be best set up in there. So my friend Sandy did that in her room downstairs in her townhouse. She actually had shelves built. Man, if I had that thing now. She had that room set up was just awesome. That would have been my perfect room. The only other thing I could do is buy shelving units to put in there. So we're going to price check, see which way will be better. Closet organizer kind of things, or like units that actually we can put together like this, something. Like I said, that's going to be my project for May, June. I'll be doing that. For now, my project is getting some of the things out of this room, out of the kitchen, out of the living room, out of our bedroom. We've already put the flooring in the kitchen. We have to put the flooring in the dining room. We have to get the bathroom ceiling painted and the bathroom walls painted. Our bedroom and that little bathroom painted. We have projects to do over the summer. I want to get our attic cleaned out. So I have a lot of DIY projects coming up. Not all in April, now mind you. But I do know that getting started with some of this stuff now is the only way I'm going to get through a lot of those other projects, is if I start getting rid of some of the crap that's in my house. Some of the things that we don't use, some of the things that are broken, that kind of thing. We have been doing that slowly but surely, but not nearly enough. That's one of the things I need to do. Another thing, getting back to the basics, along with kind of getting rid of things I don't want, don't use, don't need, or broken. Organizing what I do want to keep. What are my basic supplies? What do I use the most? What do I really need? With the supplies, mind you, for journaling and planning, I have this bag. In the bag, right now I have a various assortment of different things, as you can tell. There's things in the pockets. So I'm going to organize this bag this month. Get my most favorite supplies. I mean, we're talking my very favorite supplies. The ones I love. And I'm going to sort through them. And what I can fit in this bag, all I'm going to be using. Because if I don't use it, I may not need it. So I'm going to have to clean out the bag, clean out some of the things, figure out what I love the most, and I go through some of the pens, figure out what I enjoy using the most. What are my favorite, very, very, very favorite things. And I'm going to only use those in April. And then I think in May, I'm going to put those aside. Then I'm going to go through some more of my supplies. Ones that I didn't use in April, see what I like. Because what I'm not really using on a regular basis, I can give away. I can donate something. That's my idea, is over this summer to go through stuff. I want to organize things. During April, I'm going to get back to the basics with meals. So we're going to have a lot of one pot meals. We're going to have a lot of crock pot meals. I have a lot of easy, basic meals and leftovers because I'm going to be swamped during April. It's going to be crazy busy. So I'm not going to have a lot of time to do elaborate cooking. And on the few days when I do some elaborate cooking, I'll make sure that there's enough to have leftovers for another day towards the end of the week. So what I'm thinking, I'm going to use one traveler's notebook. Now this is one of my newest Janelli fishes. And although it's a standard, it's a trifold, so an A5 notebook will fit in it. And I am thinking, I can't give up my writer stuff. I can't give up the writer stuff. So I'm going to be using my notebook for writing. So probably all I will be using is my writer's Bible, which has my writer stuff in it, and one traveler's notebook. I'm going to narrow mine down because the writing stuff is separate. It's not the same. And there's, in my writer's Bible, I'll have the writer bullet journal. I'll have my writer journal notebook thing. And then I'll actually, over to the side, we'll have the notebook I do the handwriting of my novel in. And that's it for that. So all I really need is the one little pack of pens or my one fountain pen and a couple of mile liners for the writing stuff. I don't really need a whole lot for that. I've already gotten that down to the basics. So this is where my indecision comes in. I learned the hard way during One Book July that I have to be comfortable doing what I'm doing. Whatever notebook I'm using for everything, if I'm going to do that, except for the writing. If I use one notebook, whether it's the Hobonichi or this Crossbill, which I have right now, I'll need to put my planning, my art journaling, my commonplace journaling, my morning pages, everything I do needs to go in this one traveler's notebook. One traveler's notebook. I was going to use this notebook that I got from TJ Maxx for $3 on clearance. I love what it says. It says choose the road less traveled. But this is going to be my notebook for morning pages / brain dumps. So this and either my Hobonichi or the Crossbill will go right in here. Now I'm thinking that's really all I need is one notebook for brain dumping, morning pages. To me, it's the same thing. And then the one notebook for everything else, except for the writing stuff. As unfortunate as it is, that means no Hobonichi stuff. I've been using my A6 for the journal prompts. I'm going to do some thinking on it because getting back to the basics for me means getting rid of a bunch of the stuff that I'm using that is overlap. This I could probably still use for my prompts. And this, the one notebook, and that, which only leaves this and the Hobonichi weeks that I won't be using. So I don't know if I put aside for the month of April the journal, the tarot, the spiritual omni journal, bullet journal kind of thing, and the work bullet journal kind of thing. I'm doing pretty good. We're gonna see. I'm not sure. Dilemmas. We're not putting any real rules on this. It is about getting back to the basics though. Whether it's in cleaning your house or it's with your journals and your planners or with your supplies or with all of the above. Do what works for you. Getting back to the basics is what it's really about. At least that's what it's about for me. So I'm going to make a decision and I will be back. I will kind of let you know in next Monday's coffee chat, and then I will have a preview of what I'm doing on the 31st of March, because I will have to have my writer bullet journal flip through this coming Friday. I will be showing you my writer's Bible and my writer bullet journal and stuff for NaNo. So that's this coming Friday. And then, yeah. And then on the 31st, because Wednesday, I need to catch up on all the outlining stuff for Writing Wednesday. I'm pretty excited, though. Got to get back to the basics. Let me know if you're thinking about doing Back to the Basics April with us. I'm going to be posting it on Instagram and Journaling with Burgess Facebook group, in the Destination Me group. I'm also going to be putting it on Twitter, and I'll have it here on YouTube. I'm going to put the hashtag in a couple of different places throughout the video, and I'll have some stuff in the description. But like I said, I'll be putting it on Instagram and other places. I also have gotten April's journal prompts done. I will be posting that sometime this week for people to get ready for April. I will give you more information in the blog post. I'm going to try to get everything ready so that by the 31st, I can show you what I'm doing with it. And this coming Friday, I'll try to show you I'm going to show you what I'm doing with the Writer's Bible, the Writer Bullet Journal, and all that stuff for Camp NaNoWriMo. And Wednesday, we'll have some finishing up my outlining through Hero's Journey and the Tarot. Show you some more of my process because I have this Wednesday and next Wednesday to finish that up. If any of you are really interested in finding out more about what One Book July is really all about, Miss Romney on Romney's Realm has a couple of playlists for the different years of One Book July. All you do is really, though, look up hashtag One Book July and it'll pull up all kinds of stuff for it. Usually it is one book, one pen, 1 month. And that's what One Book July is. So it's all about getting back to the basics with your planning. For me, it goes a little bit further than that because I do journaling and all of that stuff together. I can't wait for One Book July. I can't wait for July. So I needed to kind of get some things together now. And get back to the basics. Because I'm doing a back to the basics with a whole lot of other things, I am including the journal. We're not actually doing one pen, and it doesn't necessarily have to be one book, but it is going to be back to the basics in April for 1 month. So we are doing back to the basics for the 1 month. But if you want, please go check out Romney and Miss Carrie and Miss Vicky B and check out their One Book July stuff, their playlist, because they're fantastic. I've learned so much from participating in One Book July. Bye, y'all. Thanks.